Greetings. Thank you for joining us. Here's Priscilla. Doing her, her super cat position. Nice, like the Statue of Liberty. Think about when she does that when you don't know that she's going to do it. Sitting there minding her own business, all of a sudden she just flies on. And that's part of the flying that she does. She does her thing. So, there's that goes to a whole nother level. So, as the cats don't fly, I don't know that one. Found a way of doing it. Or coasting, or whatever you want to call it. So, Pleiadian Galactic Federation. I don't know if there's a disconnected to their collective, let's put it that way, and just whatever they have to say on a neutral level. Just also been buried on YouTube because I've been gone for so long. So maybe that'll add some needed. Of course, I haven't done one of these in such a long time. So I'm gonna do some more of those just sake of ironing out because it's been in such a long time. And a feline channeling and it's just a connection. You want that? Call them outcasts for a reason. For it's just worse. And the feline evolution overall, just humanity connected to felines. Of course, it might go into the reptilian energies also. Like sometimes you can see of course, I'm doing these movies, and you look at some of these people. So like some of the males have, or the females, but the males, and they have long hair. They can look like a feline. They have like a feline face with a long face. So, at least that's one of our obviously, we have multiple connections. So, it's like we're getting them out of their own difficulties, you can say. At least some of the feline energies. Of course, the felines are also, at least in this galaxy, the felines have always a history, but there's a lot more to it. They're just not revealing it for whatever reason, kind of keeping it basic overall. So it's part of their growth. As you can see, a lot of people here have trouble learning, so it tells you how hard-headed a feline energy and a reptilian is. They're all kind of hard. Everything's hard-headed, I guess. So, all right, SimonTodd.com, 5 sessions. I have a scheduler. We have the shop here. And let's see, I don't know if the website's on here. No, it's just YouTube. Oh, I didn't put the website yet because the short movies have their own website too, but I don't always remember to update it. Either way, that's a playlist to everything on the other channel. I could put on this channel, but they're already on the other one, so I might as well just keep it in this one. Who knows what's going to happen to this one? Here's Priscilla. Getting all the attention as usual until Fritzy shows up. And she's boss. Cat boss, yeah. All right. Okay, all right. We're going to Pleiadian Galactic energies. And then feline evolution energy. So, all right, we're just going to keep this one kind of short. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greasy with the Pleiadians, or a better way of saying it, the Pleiadian elves. The elf energy is part of the human evolution. You can say the elf is a different type of human than what you are experiencing here, because the elves are normally more spiritually advanced. just overall their cultures. Not just because they have pointy ears, just their DNA, it's just a different type of frequency overall. It just it's a part of nature. They don't have to go into the whole details of it. It's like kind of like nature's watchers or protectors. As for the Pleiadian energies, of course, there are Pleiadians with pointy ears, elf energies, but really, the Palladian really comes down from, or evolves from the elf. And that's, of course, the feline frequencies too, but that's for a different entity to come through. As for the Palladian frequencies here, a lot of Palladians just are suffering due to self love and just want to give love to others, but having trouble loving themselves. Also, some of them are having difficulty because they're used to having like beautiful looks, not that they aren't, but they do see that deteriorating here to some level, and it's very difficult from like aging and all that. It's still a tough one for some. Others have found a way around it, or just it's a long story on that one. But it's just so the looks and all that. It's just really part of your power too. It's like your hair. Somebody say it's narcissistic, but it has a lot to do with self-love. Now many do become narcissistic, but that's when they weaponize it, use it against others, and try to control and whatever it might be. And of course, there's a Palladian energies. Why they can easily be corrupted because it's like a voodoo. They know they can do it. It's like an easy in. They use their looks. They walk into someone's soul, someone's life, and take it over. And you don't even a lot of the times the female and the male, they can both do about the same type of damage. And you see that here in this world. And it's part of your Vogue magazines, just anything to do with looks. Even the makeup is connected to that. But Palladians coming here is to, heal our vain appearances, to just connect with oneself on the interior instead of necessarily worrying about the exterior. So there's a lot of Palladian beings that decided not to be extremely attractive. Of course, you're attracted internally. And that's been a test because the Palladians are a higher frequency, as some of you know, 6th, 7th dimension, but they come here and they become terrible or become evil for that matter. So they have a lot to learn. So they're not used, and that's what this, they switch on a dime. Or, I think that's one way of saying it. So, this world is necessary for growth. Get you out of bad habits. Like I said, in the Palladian realms, it might be narcissistic to some level, but it is out to help others, and it just a high, like everybody's high, and everything's fine as long as it's going your way. And of course, the Palladians that become dark didn't get their way, but those that don't get their way, it's patience. They connect with family, and just give things time. A big part is patience. It doesn't mean they always get what they want, but in that patience direction to get what they want, it's what they learn in the meantime. And they might not always reach what their goal. Their goal might be something totally different now. Yes, you can change it. So now I'm more of a family person than just a career person, and so on. So it's just this world, actually you can see how much patience is built into this planet. That's because not just because of negativity here, it's because it's something that needs to be learned here. Because so many higher dimensional beings are so fast. And there's nothing wrong with being a fast entity and all that. But obviously, sometimes you need to slow down to see yourself more clearly. And sometimes you want success to happen fast, or relationship happen to fast. In higher dimensional realms, it does happen. But here, you get more clarity of yourself, and you just become more. It's like this world's kind of like stop and smell the roses type of reality at some level. And there's different types of smells. Yes, there's good smells and there's bad smells. That's the only difference. So this world is kind of a treasure to some level when you see what it does. It's a harsh awakening. That is not necessary. You may hear about the awakenings What about alien awakenings to how useful, how helpful the physical realm is? Because the non-physical does not have all the answers. The non-physical can create all these difficulties, all these issues with the soul. And of course, you have your own difficulties here in the physical too. So, but you can balance it out. Like I said, in higher dimensions, you're used to getting everything instantly, depending on where you are. And like I said, the ones that become dark just want it now, and they're not getting it now, and they just get weird. And they come out more of themselves. And it is kind of like something you would see in a cartoon. It can be very vicious, but it's because you can't always explain it fully here in the physical, because the physical here is so slow. You're not seeing all the interdimensional damage they can do or interdimensional traveling, because obviously you do interdimensional traveling to some level, but overall you're just in one reality as far as you know, which is okay. So just take it day by day. You don't need to know everything about the universe or anything like that. Just know yourself. What is it you have now? What is your garden of life now? What is your Eden? What is your reality currently? That's all that matters. Everything else, secret space programs, other realms. I mean, if that's something you need to do, that's something you need to do. But really, it comes down to what is your Earth experience? What is it about? You don't have to know all the details, but at least what you're allowed to know. It'll help you greatly in your path to keep your sanity, if you want that. At least some calmness. Brings you with the feline frequencies or consciousness connected to your Earth, your universe, not necessarily a Lyran energy. So the felines, the Lyran story, as you hear about Lyra being destroyed and the felines need to find themselves. That's a small portion of how all these alien races, the Pleiadians were already there, but the different forms, it just isn't as you know them now. And the same thing with the Syrians and so on. The felines just added their experience to other species to grow, to heal. Yes, they're naive energies. I usually see like a cat. Cat loves to lay around and do nothing, right? But a lot of species like to do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but they become so lazy. And then you have these like reptilian beings show up that want to destroy everything. So what happens with the felines? They can create a comfortable reality, not because they're lazy. It's just that this is the frequency to put their intentions. It's like you build it, like you mentally create a garden, a forest that's kind, where you can actually sleep in. You don't have all. It's like you don't have a jungle. They have jungles, but not like this. And so the reptilians, you could say, different ways of looking at that. It's like they wanted some of that themselves. We want some of that sugar ourselves, so they combined. And to do that, you can say it through war, to destroy Lyra, but also to intermix the two races together. Because yes, the reptilians, the ones that attack. Now there are other ones that have decent lives, but they're not really looking for like a cushion, pillow reality. They're not looking for anything. They're just out. It's like you have like your reptiles here. They're just hanging out in the water, and they're okay with it. I don't see them complaining. I don't think they can. No, I don't feel they complain about it. No, I mean, there's the idea of too much comfort, and your world definitely has a piece of that. Of course, and then you have, if you want to be reptilian, you can just sleep on the street. Of course, being a human is not so easy. It's better to be built for that. So yeah, it shows that how much feline energies you have as for comfort is here. But you also have the reptilian instincts, which is good and bad. It is connected to the lower dimensions. But for this version of human that you're in, you say open up the lower dimensional realms was kind of necessary, and why not? How far into the lower dimensions can you go? It's all now that is an experiment. Just how insane can we go? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, there's consequences to it. And obviously other beings come to hijack, just decides, oh, you want to experiment with yourself? Don't worry. We're now your new bosses. Anunnaki have done this. A lot of species have done this. doing what's happening here, yes, it might be hell on earth for some of you because you just don't. Yeah, being a regular human, of course, being a regular human, there's still a lot of complaints. I don't have this, I don't have that. I'm not a millionaire. There's always some kind of like complaints, and that's not always. Not some have made peace and just don't do that, but there are others that just, and that's just a regular common human. And in many of you that are evolving spiritually, yeah, you feel, and yeah, you can say there's kind of like a superhero energy there of like you look up in this mythology, your current mythology, a lot of your heroes are alone. It's not what it's cracked up to be. So you're experiencing that here now. It's another way of looking at it. You're just here, how you're evolving. Yes, you're not maybe flying in the sky and all that, but it's, yeah, that might seem like it's nice, but there's a lot of drawbacks. You're still not part of the human evolution. You're a weirdo, a freak, whatever, a mutant, whatever you want to call it. So it's just not everyone's really seeing it that way because yeah, you're on a different timeline, and there's a lot of positives to what you can do, but obviously the negatives is just it's part of it is loneliness. It's not always that. It's just, and that's also help your evolution. That can also increase your abilities, what you're here to do, and also of course there is a war here that's in different dimensions. So the feline, I mean, humans always existed. It added the feline touch. Of course, you have the canine energies here of just more personal, more friendlier to others. Because cats can be very friendly but moody. Yeah, it's like you can't connect telepathically as you'd like to, and so adding that canine energy brings more of a physical, hey, how's it going, verbal energy. That's that the cats don't have that, but the cats are very just introverted. And unless you're around your own people, and even there's nothing wrong with that. But the canine side, just more verbal, more dog life in general. It just raunchy, dirty, yeah, and yeah, it can get dirty, and so on. But that's not necessarily negative. You can do whatever you want with your life, but. And the reptilian side is the warrior side. It's connected. The reptilian side of your human evolution really just connected to the dimensions, and a lot of it's the war. It's to open up the war, or just the physical dimensions in general. You don't necessarily call it the war dimensions, but it does access that. Because some of you realize, yeah, you can feel like there's some dark frequency here, right? But it doesn't mean you have to act on it. But that's part of your reptilian side is you can access the physical. It doesn't mean you're be a perfect physical person, or doesn't mean you know everything about the physical and you become, the founder of Amazon or whatever. You don't need that because it has a lot of, it's not what it's cracked up to be. There's all the karmic connections, and yes, after doing like a big company like that, and you can be stuck here for a long time. When you have that much impact on society, yeah, I honestly believe you just leave just like that. Not when you're doing what that's doing. Now, if your company is like kissing everybody and loving everybody and doing good, then yeah, you can exit out here with no problem. But if your company is kind of enslaving people to some level, yeah, that goes back to the founder. There's different ways of looking at it, but it finds it's like it's always working over the founder. For better or for worse. So just give you a little bit more insight. So the feline is just part of this. Yes, they're healing themselves, but also they want to see how far this version of human goes into crazy, basically. Because this version of human here, yes, it has a feline element, but there's versions of human here that doesn't have it at all. And you see that earlier in society. You don't have to look too deep into it. Some don't want comfort. They're just not cat-like. Let's put it that way. Is another way of looking at it. But it's not you have the Lyran part of you. Not all of you do, but some of you do. But there's this human here is still very unusual compared to other human varieties. It's the risk taker. But yes, it opens up the lower dimensions. And yes, it'd be nice to close it, but obviously others are taking a bath in it right now. They can't get themselves out. But you're here to assist them, but also learn from all of that. Not everybody can see that spiritually. It doesn't mean you have to know all the details of it, but it's kind of like it's almost like you're being pulled into quicksand. At least the entities want to pull you and trick you into their realm, and you keep going forward. So, blessings.